face it, PowerPoint is a fun program. Developing presentation graphics is one of the few times in the workplace that you can actually be creative. Which template to use? This graphic or this one? How can I say this better? Which bullet color is right? Before you know it, it's the end of the day and you've created only 5 slides. Yes, 5 magnificent artistic slides, and dozens more to go. And only a few days before your deadline. Working at that pace is a formula for failure. For most people, presentation development is more of an art than a science. They spend more time focused on the look and feel of the presentation and the minutiae of each page than the pure message and content. And subsequently, they often rush to meet their deadline and have little or no time to practice or print handouts or make final edits. You know you're looking at a poorly time-managed presentation when it has a strong start with great-looking graphics, and then it degrades as it goes on and concludes with a weak finish and little or no graphics or creativity. It happens a lot. But by looking at presentation design as more of a science than an art, you can put what I call a managed methodology into your work. This will help you to meet deadlines and prepare for the known and the unknown variables of presentation development, and your presentation will come together much faster and easier. To help explain this all-important concept of presentation time management, we're going to do a little role play. Let's pretend that I'm a human resource manager for a mid-sized medical research company that we'll call Medco. I've been tasked with creating a company orientation presentation for new employees. Today is Monday, January 1st, and the big meeting is just 2 weeks away on January 15th. Rather than diving right into PowerPoint and picking a cool template and getting right to work on creating graphics and writing bullet points, I'm going to pause and take a step back and look holistically at the presentation and budget my time. There's some math involved in this step, but like I said, this is science. If I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, I have 80 hours allocated to me before showtime in 2 weeks. Acknowledging that I have other work-related responsibility, and life doesn't stop just because I have a presentation to create, I'm going to realistically say that half of this time is available to me for presentation design. So 40 hours. I'm going to divide my 40-hour time window into 10 individual steps. We'll explain each one as we go through, but it's important that you work to allocate a time window for each of these steps early on. We're going to start with taking 2 hours to define the project's scope and define its goals and objectives. This is where we clarify what we're trying to accomplish with this presentation. A lot of people don't even know what they're looking to say. Ask yourself the basic who, what, when, where, and how, and why to get some structure to the content of the presentation. Visualization is helpful. Try to see yourself giving a speech or a presentation and imagine what you'll look like saying it or how it will look. Let's learn a little bit more about our Medco presentation. We've learned that our main objective is to provide employees with an overview of Medco and explain their working role in the company, including policies, procedures, and benefits. We've also learned that the audience will be small, with about 10 to 20 people watching in a medium-sized conference room. This information is important so that we can design the look and feel of the type size of the presentation to match the audience size. And we've also learned that they have no knowledge of the subject material, so we have to be very clear when writing it and assume that they know nothing about what we're talking about. Another critical piece of information is that I have only 45 minutes to present and only 15 minutes of questions and answers. During presentation development, it's valuable to always refer back to this first step to ensure that your presentation always stays on track with its goals and objectives. Step 2 is presentation outlining and speech writing. Again, resist the temptation to start creating graphics right in and going right to PowerPoint. Take the time to focus on crafting your content. Whether it's an outline or a full speech, content is critical. For our Medco presentation, I'm going to budget 6 hours to develop the outline and write my content. Now, if this was a speech, I would obviously use a word processor, but our Medco presentation is less formal, so I'm going to work in PowerPoint and create a brand new presentation file. Our first task is to figure out what I'm going to say. I'm going to enter all the key topics and bullet points that I want to cover and work over the next 6 hours to craft the core messages. We'll be sharing about how to create content in future PowerPointers videos. But for now, we're ready to move to step 3.